Good morning and hello everybody. This is Kim with Fairily Fiber Fun, and I just want to welcome you to episode 26. It has been about a year since my last episode, if not longer, and I do apologize for that, but you know, such is life. Making my second morning cup of tea, and I thought before the world got crazy and hectic that I would go ahead and tell you all about what's been going on, specifically in the month of August. So before we get into it, I would like to give a warm welcome to new viewers and welcome back to returning viewers. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss new videos as they come out. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments and suggestions and questions down in the comment section below. I love reading them, and you guys have been incredibly awesome the whole month of August. It's just been great. So during July, we reached over 1,000 subs. Thank you so much for that. It has been beautiful to see the community here growing. It's absolutely wonderful. I've been working all month towards the Wool and Fiber Arts Raw Fleece Fiber Festival or sale or whatever it is. It's all virtual online. Every vendor does their, usually most sales it's 30 minutes, but for the Raw Fleece sale it's an hour. So each vendor has an hour to show off their fleeces, and people can comment live while watching the video and sell stuff there in the comments or however the vendors do it. That's mainly what I was prepping for the entire month of August. But before I get into all of that, I did spend some time, I took a break from work and I spent some time crocheting some baskets. So I actually started off by watching some YouTube videos one day when I was not feeling well, and I got hooked. I had to start a basket. So this is the first basket. All 100% Jacob, spun a few years ago during Tour de Fleece on spun long draw on the great wheel. Let's not jump out of my hand. It's very similar to knitting a hat. This was yarn held double, and I used, I don't even remember which crochet hook I used, but I knit it just as tightly and firmly as I could get by with without killing my hands. Then I have to show you the third basket I made. I have not woven the ends in yet. I paired a sample of blue yarn held double with some Jacob, and I knit this little tiny basket and put a cute little edging on it. I thought that was just too adorable, and the fact that it lays open like this is pretty awesome. I don't crochet very often. I usually knit, so when I get hit by the crochet bug, it tends to last a little while. Anyway, those snuggle in together, and then I have to show you the second basket here in a second. Before I started my third basket, my hands were hurting like crazy. The crochet hook was just killing my hands, so I went to the store and I bought some polymer clay. And my kids, one of my sons, helped me. How can I hold all these up? There we go. So we made handles and baked them. Just laid them on a cookie sheet and baked them. Great. Which hook was I using? I'm missing one. I'm missing the eye. So it must have been the H. I think it was this one that I was using. So the third basket is my project basket for the fourth one. So this was the second basket. And I paired this one, Jacob, again with, I think it's Gulf Coast, a dye lot I had sampled on Gulf Coast Roving called Be Mine Valentine, and this colorway is available on Jacob and Tunis in the shop, 4 ounces. So that was fun to make that one. So this was my second one, and I love how it handles, how it holds. And inside I switched to a light gray Jacob, and I'm using up, I think the batt was called Campfire. I had dyed up a bunch of Tunis fleece and carded it into batts. Some of the batts sold, and then on a live Facebook video I did, I demonstrated different ways to spin it, and then I've put all the yarns into this cute little basket. This one is square, but the top is oval because I've gotten rid of the corners in the final few rows. And it's like, it's weird. It's been squished in the bag for a while, so it's a little bit weird. But anyway, this is the final one. And there's the yarns. It will have handles. It's not quite done. And then I have plans for another basket, and I don't know what color of Jacob I will pair with this. Where'd it go? There it is. So I was thinking of using this yarn, and I do not remember the details about this yarn at all. I think I was either trying for a self-striping that was 2-plied instead of chain-plied, or I just needed to spin a batt, and this was the batt that was available. I don't remember. So I figured I would pair this with some Jacob and make another basket. That would be really, really, really cute. So that's the plan. Oh, you know what? This was the crochet hook I was using, and it's the one I was missing. Okay, all fixed. Also, during the month of August, I carded up a batt during a live on Facebook in the WAFA group. It was fun. So this was the fire element on Cheviot. And what I'm doing is a whole series on YouTube about upcycling fibers that are in the shop. So I'm taking dyed braids out of the shop and I'm carding them into batts. So I started working on this one. The videos won't come out, I think, until October. But here's the first batt, and I'm going to spin this up myself, so I don't really care how manhandled it gets. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's got bamboo and Tessa silk, pulled sari silk, recycled sari silk. I think that's it as my add-ins. So really, really pretty. When I took it off the drum carder, I was like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. Right there in the middle of the live, I just had to stop and drool. It is beautiful. And now I've got fuzz all over me, of course. So that one's going to get spun. Oof. And the other project I've been working on that I can tell you about right this minute is I got some roving from the mill. It took like 4 or 5 months to get it, but it was Tunis roving from last year's shearing of Sullivan Family Farm in East Denali, their sheep. I have this year's shearing in the shop. So all those fleeces are in the shop, the ones that haven't sold. Which again, I'll get to that in a moment too, because I have lots of news about that. Anyway, don't know where the accent came from. You'll have to pardon the weird me. This is the real me. So I've been spinning up roving long draw on Mr. Squeaky, the Spinny Cube. And this is the first bobbin plied. So I spun all the singles, which will be, that'll be the next video that comes out, I think. I might be wrong. It might be next week. But anyways, the Moraine sweater is what I want to knit. It's by Tin Can Knits. And so I am spinning up yarn for that, and I will dye the yarn according to how many yards I need of each color. So when I skein it up, I will skein up specifically for the main color, the contrast color 1, contrast color 2, and then I will begin knitting the sweater after I've dyed it. And that is going to be its own YouTube series. And since this is a large project, each video will come out once a month. So I'm looking forward to this. This has been a fun yarn to spin. Really, really fun. The whole thing spun and plied on the cube, and I'm looking forward to having my first all Tunis sweater. So that's really exciting. As far as YouTube goes, what came... Stuff's falling. Like, I moved a few things and now it's falling over. Anyway, the upcycle series on YouTube. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of those. And so the first one has already come out during the month of August. I did not have all the colors because one of them I carded into Rolex before I started filming. So this was the first one, the Gradient Rainbow on Ida top. And 1 4-ounce braid made 2 sets of Rolegs on the drum carders. And the Rolegs are somewhere around 3 ounces. So what I added to this was Corriedale, Cheviot, Texel, Tunis, Mystery Zoo wool, Gotland and Teeswater, locks, sparkle, nylon, and other locks that I lost the tag for. But they are wool. Okay, so that was the first one, and I've got 1 bag of each color to spin myself. So here's the green ones, which did not come out on YouTube. They'll be the first ones that I spin, and that will be coming out this month. And then I don't have the yellow ones with me. They will be the second video, and that's because I only carded 1 set, and the other set I kind of forgot about. So here's the orange ones. It turned out super gorgeous. Great feedback on the whole series. It was a lot of fun to film. When I did all the filming after Tour de Fleece. So Tour de Fleece had me going almost every day filming stuff, and it taught me I can do a lot more videos than I thought I could. So I've been maintaining twice a week since then, except for this past weekend. And that's because of the WAFA sale, which we'll talk about last. All right, these are the purple ones, and I'm going out of order. Those are the purple Rolegs. These will be the 5th video of the series coming out when I spin them. So I'm pretty sure I can get all those in this month. September, I mean. And then there's the 4th one, the pretty pink. They're really quite gorgeous. I'm looking forward to spinning these. Don't have a clue what I'm going to do with them, but something. So that was, I think those came out on Fridays, if I remember correctly. Other videos that I did during August, which oddly enough, oh, I have 6 other videos. I'm like, I only have 3 yarns. That's because 2 of those were not yarns. So I did a chain ply tutorial, the special request, and I have this little teeny tiny bit of yarn. This was leftover singles from Tour de Fleece, and I didn't know what to do with them. And then when somebody asked for a chain ply tutorial, I thought, why not? This is super quick and easy. Little spin, like it won't take long to do the tutorial, and I can just focus on the details. Then I can get it to focus. Anyway, I just wound it like this around my arm. So I don't know how many yards this is or anything, but it's just a little tiny sample for chain ply tutorial. And I think that was probably like the most recent spinning video that came out in August. We're going now that I'm done with the whole upcycle series talking about it. We're doing the other videos in opposite order. All right, I did 2 skirting fleeces videos. I've got paper. I got notes. I've got 2 skirting fleeces. Sorry. The first one was a short one that I had created for YouTube, and the second one was really long, and it was supposed to be a Facebook premiere, and I couldn't figure it out, so it became a YouTube premiere. So it's the long version, and I got great feedback on both of those. And then I spun up a shop sample of Tunis. This is the Love is in the Air colorway, and it turned out absolutely gorgeous. This one was a kettle dyed sample, 4-ounce sample, and I decided after dyeing doing a couple of colors kettle dyed that I didn't want to do anymore kettle dyeing, because the stripes, it's like a self-striping, but the stripes become more and more faded as it goes through the braid or the fiber. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be more consistent, but it turned out a gorgeous yarn. Very, very crisp, crunchy, and squishy. Like, it's really nice. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Maybe a hat. We'll see. I love it. And then I did a core spun from an art batt that had some brand new to me add-ins, and I wanted to just give it a try. So I core spun it, and then I did super coils. You don't want the little tie in there. So it's got little pieces of yarn that I, cut about 2-3 inches, something like that, and put in the batt, and little tiny pieces of felt or pre-felt, which worked as neps. I did some larger pieces of felt and didn't care for how those turned out as much. I like the little pieces better. They act more like wool neps, but a little bit easier to hold on to the fiber. So I really enjoyed making this one. Don't have a clue what I'm going to do with it, as per usual, but it'll turn into something eventually. Maybe it'll go into a woven scarf or something. We'll see. In September, that's all the videos that came out in August, except for this one. And then in September, we have spinning the row legs. Each color will be its own separate video. And the moraine sweater, part 1, the spinning the singles, will be the next video that comes out. Hopefully, if I can get the beginning of it filmed, felting a small rug or a cat rug that's been requested a few months ago, and I just need to film the very beginning, and then it'll be done. And then I have one other video I want to do this month. No promises, but I want to explore, does the wool tumbler help to make scouring easier? I already know the answer. It depends on the fleece, but let's do it on video. So I'm going to take a really dirty fleece. It's got a lot of dirt and veg matter, and we're going to wash some without tumbling it, and then we're going to tumble some and then wash it. So, and aside from that, I would have had the row legs spun already, but I've been working on December. So just kind of skipped a few months, and I've been filming for December. Not the greatest idea. So I'm a little bit behind on YouTube filming. Anyways, Saturday, August 27, I opened the Raw Wool Fiber Fest at noon Eastern. I did my live video, and I sold fleeces. During the whole month, I sold fleeces. So I originally skirted 7 Tunis fleeces and 7 Jacob fleeces, and I sorted 2 old fleeces, Jacob, by color. So I have light, mixed, and dark. And I still have 1 Tunis fleece that needs to be skirted, and I still have, I think, 3 Jacob that need to be skirted. I think I had 10 Jacob fleeces. So what I sold before the sale was 3 Tunis fleeces and 2 Jacobs. One of the Tunis needs to be scoured and tumbled before I ship it. That was paid for extra. And what was sold during the sale was 3, I sold 3 fleeces, 3 bags of skirtings, which were around £1 a piece, and they're only from the Tunis, and 1 pound of a Gulf Coast fleece. So that was pretty good. And then I got a couple of extra sales through my shop after the sale, like the same day and the day after. So that was really cool. I still need to add a few fleeces to the shop. They're not all in there yet. So I have to figure that out, but I want to ship stuff first and get those orders taken care of, and then I can worry about the rest later. I did sell a fleece that wasn't even in the shop. I thought it was, and it wasn't. So I don't know what happened, but it sold to 2 people. It was split. It was great. I did end up running through my 20 or so fleeces in 25 minutes. So I'm used to a 30-minute running through 60 items in the sales, which is super fast, high speed. But so I ran through the fleeces a lot quicker than I should have. But you know, it was okay because people had a chance to request to see a fleece again. And we ended up talking about Unicorn Power Scour and how to scour, how to get started working with fleeces. It was really great. So coming up at some point on YouTube will be a scouring tutorial. I already have an older one on my channel, but I've changed how I scour, and so I have a newer version that I need to put in there. It was really great. There were a lot of comments, there was a lot of interaction, and I had a lot of fun with the sale. Much more fun than just running through all the items as quick as I could and not having time to respond to people. So I kind of liked having the extra 35 minutes. During the sale, the kids, while I was, occupied for an hour outside in the heat and sweltering heat and humidity, the kids were inside rearranging and cleaning. So we had a dresser that had belonged to one of my sons who now lives with his dad, and I wanted to put that in my daughter's room, which required getting rid of something in her room that I'd already emptied, a little cabinet, and it's one I don't like, I don't need, I don't want. So they got that out of her room, put my son's dresser in her room, which freed up space in the boys' bedroom for, there was a dresser, a bunch of junk, and a dresser. So they moved all the junk onto the unoccupied bed and scooted their dresser back, and they cleaned that space while it was available. And then my daughter took all of her clothes out of the linen closet in her room. She has a regular closet and a linen closet, and all of my wool has been, her closet has been stuffed with wool. It's not all the wool. So what we did was move the in the shop, or should be in the shop, fleeces into her linen closet, and then gave her the clothes closet, which now has yarn and Christmas box and other random things, but no raw fleeces. So she has an actual closet she can use that doesn't stink like a barn, which is really good. I've got a lot more work to do in the house, but selling fleeces to make room for all this rearranging was the first step towards getting the house back in order. After the sale, I pulled out a bag of, as I was emptying her closet completely of all the fleeces that were still in there, I pulled out a big bag of Woolpool wool I had purchased a couple of years ago from Hope Springs Farm. And it's just, there's this thing in Georgia where there's a wool pool, and it's sold super, super cheap, and it all goes to a mill and gets processed from all the farms in Georgia. And so she had like 80 pounds, and I bought it for $1 a pound. Not skirted at all, and this particular bag was about 30 pounds, as I had divided it into 3. And I spent an hour sorting that by mulch, rich, medium, and fine. Naturally, the compost went into a garbage bag for later being put on the garden when I finally get it weeded and everything. And the rich wool went in its own bag, and the medium wool went in a bag, and the fine wool went in a separate bag, and everything's labeled, so I know what to do when I'm ready to send it off to the mill. And I stored it under the daybed in the living room. Oh, okay. I just got up and took an allergy pill, and hopefully that'll stop the constant incessant itching on my nose. It's driving me nuts. So that was the WAFA sale, and today is Monday. So I filmed this yesterday to those who are watching it as it goes out live. I have a ton of stuff I need to do to get my house in order. There's a bunch of fleeces that are in process of being, like, some have been scoured and they need more work, and some are in the middle of being scoured, and some are in the middle of being carded or combed. I've got so much work to do, and I keep buying new fleeces. I just bought a BFL, like, I think a pound of BFL from Malibran Farms. She was the first time vendor, and I was her mentor and volunteer for the sale, and I couldn't resist, and I got 8 ounces of mohair as well, which is, I don't like mohair, but I thought I would try hers and see if it's any better than what I've sampled in the past. The fibers I've been working with in the Upcycle series, they will be available for sale in the months of, in the live sales in the months of September and October. Excuse me, October and November. I'm not vending September this month. I am vending October and November. So that'll wrap up the year for me as far as WAFA sales. And there'll be links below to the WAFA community page and the WAFA business page. So I do all of my live demos on Facebook in the community page. And I do the occasional live on TikTok just to have company while I work. It's not much. Anyway, so that wraps up the crazy ordeal that has been August. The kids went back to school on, I think, the 3rd. I was getting ready to look for my phone. Where's my calendar at? I can't look at the calendar because I'm using my phone. I'm kind of talking to it. Anyways, today has been a packed, this month, August, not today, August has been a packed month. And if you can't tell, my brain just cannot keep track of everything. Can I blame it on the fact that it's still morning and my nose still itches like crazy? Anyway, for those of you that want to know, I am drinking black tea this morning. And it is my second cup. The first cup I had before taking the kids to school and finished it in the car. So I think that's everything. I have a lot more to do. I've got a lot of stuff scheduled, and I think I'm going to get started spinning some Rolex, because why not? Tomorrow I'm supposed to do, today, if you're watching this today, you know, for me it's tomorrow, for you it's today. I am doing an 11 a.m. Eastern live demo on the Wool and Fiber Arts community page on Facebook. Carding, spinning a batt? I think it's spinning a batt. So that's when I'm going to spin this one. Yeah, I think. I'll figure it out. I've already missed 2 videos, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to say goodbye and go spin this up and film it. So you guys can watch this, I think, next week. All right. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It's been a little crazy. Hopefully I will be able to film these once a month. No promises on any of the plans. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot something. I forgot to share with you more about the moraine sweater. So I'm putting that in now at the end. So a friend of mine made this really gorgeous book for me. And it's the first time I've used this type of, I don't know what these are called. Anyway, it's the first time I've used them. And the pages look like this. I'll show you an empty page. The pages look like this. Really nice, thick paper, gorgeous. And this is my sample page for the Tunis. And this is not how the final yarn will be, because this was a sample that I spun up. So I have here my singles, long draw, a 2-ply sample, a ply back sample, a washed 2-ply sample, and then here I have a knit swatch, and I used US 8 needles, which is 5mm. And I just gently stretched this while it was wet. This has been blocked. I very gently stretched it into a fairly square shape. And then just let it lie flat without any pins or anything holding it. So this tells me how much yarn I need to spin for the sweater. What my gauge is going to be, how much yardage I need, all that. And I know the finished yarn will be a little bit different and it will knit up a little bit different, but this gives me an idea of where to start. So I'm spinning around 1.5 pounds long draw. So that's what's in here in this notebook. And then I love this notebook. Believe you can and you will. I believe I can produce 2 videos on YouTube every single week. So I will. Except for the weeks that I don't. So I've already made a mess. See, I've already rewritten everything. I've actually planned out every single month through the end of the year. And then I have, I love this. So I have, where is it? Possible vending dates. Personal, in-person vending dates. Live ideas for Facebook. Live video demos. Live TikTok ideas. A list of videos I want to film for YouTube. A list of carding videos I want to film for YouTube. A list of combing videos. And a non-existent list of blending board videos. Haven't put anything on that yet. And then I have a list of ideas for February. And it goes on through the entire year. I have a theme for each month for next year. That's what's in here. I love this little notebook. I just feel like I need to buy a new one and transfer everything to it because I've messed this one up. But I'm going to keep this one and all its ridiculous mess ups and notes and everything as a record of how things change. I think that's a good idea. Anyways, so that's a little bit out of order. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.